Welcome and welcome back, my dear Taropals, to another supremely cute topic. Pick a card reading or pick an image reading. If you're going by the thumbnail, you would have seen 3 different images. We are asking Spirit to channel and give us insight into your future kids. These could be biological children, these could be children you adopt, or through any other means. Of course, we're not in this reading doing a fur baby reading. But if you guys are interested and if you are somebody who would want me to do a reading around fur babies are 4-legged beings, I'd be excited to do that. So let me know in the comment section below if that's what you're keen to also watch as a topic. Today we are covering your children, your future kids, their personalities, their relationship with you, any guidance that Spirit wants to give us today, and the whole 9 yards. We'll see how that comes out. If you have just found me, welcome. I am also on Instagram. You will see all relevant information regarding the channel, about getting personal paid readings in the description box below. So don't miss that out. There is a timeless reading playlist, guys, which I strongly recommend everybody to, give it a look, because you'd find it means timeless because there is reading and guidance there for you depending on when you find it, and you can always pick a different pile and get a message, hopefully, that helps you navigate through whatever you're dealing with. Without much ado, because I am super excited to do this reading as much as I hope you are to hear this, let's jump into making 3 piles for 1, 2, and 3, okay? So for pile number 1, the first oracle card that we're looking at when we're thinking their future kids, for pile number 1. Let's go with this. Expansiveness, beautiful artwork. Okay. For pile number 2, can we get a card for pile number 2? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. We have liberation and that dragonfly showing up. And for pile number 3, their future kids, pile number 3, okay, faith. I already have so many channeled messages coming in, but we're going to wait for the entire spread to be made. If you'd like to skip the shuffling and the pile preparation part of it, I will put timestamps under. I'm doing this slightly differently, the shuffling today. So I'm going to first make the 3 piles. Those of you who like to watch the cards and the spread being made, you can continue watching this. And if you'd like to directly skip to the part wherein your piles are ready and your reading is ready to begin, feel free to do that. Okay, so we'll start with pile number 1. And hold on, I need to keep an eye on the camera to make sure it's all visible. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, those are our 3 piles. I want to first use this deck to look into their personality. For pile number 1, children, their personality. Thank you. We'll take, I feel like I want to go with some more cards of this pile, or this deck rather. So we'll use 1 more of this and 2 of this. Let's see how that spreads out, okay? So 1 and 1 more. We'll go with this for pile 1. Children for pile number 2, their personalities. Okay, we have these 2 that I feel drawn to. And for pile number 3, their children. Okay, 1 and 2. So we'll keep this aside. I want to use 1 more card from this deck. So we'll take 1 each. Okay, this felt like it wanted to jump out. Okay, pile number 2, their kids. Here we go. And for this one, I feel like I want to pull a... Okay, there you go. So that's done. Now let's look at this deck. We will take couple of cards from this one. Oops, I think I shook the camera, but we good. Okay. So, pile number 1, their children. I want to feel this. We'll take one of the planet cards and the house cards. And I'm going to shuffle it. Okay. And let's go with this. So that's pile 1. For pile 2, we'll go with this, and I don't know why for this pile I want to take 2 planet cards, so we'll take it. I listen to the murmurs of the spirit while we shuffle, that's the point. And we'll give it one more shuffle here. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. We go. Okay. So that's from everything related to their personality. Now let's look at your relationship with them. And for that, we will use tarot deck first. To begin with, we will take about 6 cards, okay, 7 for each pile, and then if we need it, we will take more. Okay, so okay, that's first. Their future kids, pile number 1. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. The relationship with their future kids. Oops, yours literally jumped off, and I will take all the jumpers because we asked Spirit to give us. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, exact 7 cards that jumped out. Fair enough. Spirit's given us all the cards we needed for pile 2. Okay. And for pile number 3, okay, you have a jumper too. Pile number 3, their relationship with the future kids. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you got 8. We'll take 8 cards here. And that's our tarot deck. Last but not least, oh, in fact, I also have the angel cards guidance. I want to take for your relationship with your children, your future kids, 3 cards from the Norman deck, please. Thank you, Spirit. 1, 2, and 3. Pile number 2, relationship with their future kids. 1, 2, and 3. Pile number 3, relationship with their future kids. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. And lastly, what is the angel guidance for you who's watching this here and now in your reading? What is your angel guidance? What do the angels want you to know here and now about your future children? Thank you. Okay, for pile 1. Okay, this almost came out. We'll take that. And this. Okay, for pile number 2. 1, 2, and 3. And for pile number 3, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, I don't know why I was drawn to vote one more, so we'll take one more for you. Okay, so if you sat with me through the shuffling and given yourself time to connect to your pile, your cards. Take some deep breaths. Okay, visualize the feeling that you believe you'd experience as a parent, and we will dive right into pile number 1. I'll give you guys a second to kind of, again, you can of course feel drawn to more than one pile. Remember, this is a general reading. We're reading for a lot of people from age 18 all the way till people in their 50s can connect to this pile, of course, or older. You never know how life unfolds. Okay, I hope you have enough time to make your pile selection. I am going to jump towards pile number 1 now. Okay, hello and welcome, pile number 1. Those of you who picked the boy and the girl in the image, or if you've gone by your oracle card, which is Expansiveness, which is such a beautiful message here. I see butterflies, I see elephants, so those could be certain spirit animals that your children have a huge aspect of their personality with, or are symbolic for you when it comes to your understanding of parenthood. Okay, we're going to leave this here. How we're going to do this reading, we'll use these oracle cards to look at the personality of your future children. We'll use tarot cards and the Lenormand cards to understand your relationship with your future kids, your future spouse, if there is that message that comes in. And we will use the angel card guides to give you any guidance that spirit wants to tell you here and now about, being a parent or anything that you need to know. With that said, let's dive right into it. So exciting. Let's see. We have your path. Wow, I've never pulled this card from this deck. That's pretty new. We have insight and unaware and the number 8. Some of you could be Saturn ruled, people who are watching this, okay, could be Saturn ruled, and there could be like a delay in you either conceiving or getting married in the first place, or even deciding to be a parent. Okay, and delay means different things to different people. For somebody it could be age 26, for somebody else it could be age 57. Delay is a spectrum, but whatever is your understanding of the age group at which you feel, typically people make that decision. You're going to make that a little later, okay, or further down the line. Unreliable and responsible. Interesting. We are looking at the personality of your future kids, and we have Moon, we have 11th house, we have Pisces, very dreamy. Okay, first off, remember that when we are reading tarot, it could be possible that you have more children than the personality type of the person I'm reading for. But this feels to me like I'm reading for a very specific child of yours, okay? You may have 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, whatever, okay? But a specific soul, a specific spirit is who is channeling in when I'm doing this reading for this particular pile, okay? Now let's talk about that personality type and how they are, or who they are. Moon in Pisces in the 11th house, okay, could be the one direct information that we get astrologically, okay. It could be also Pisces in the 11th house and somebody with a moon ruled chart as a person. What do these things mean? I will of course decode in the personality aspects of it. They could be literally a Pisces baby, which means they could be born in the month of March. They may also be born around February, because 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. So February, March is the timeline around which their birthday may fall, okay. First off the bat, with these two together, this is an imaginative baby. Their imagination, their sense of creativity, their ability to read people, their ability to connect with different kinds of people is extremely strong. This child's personality will attract all kinds of people, and not all kinds would of course be the good types, okay. I do foresee a possibility of this child going through some sort of at very early years, a certain kind of a bullying experience, or certain kind of a exclusion or isolation that may make them even more spiritual at a very young age. They will have a certain knowing about people which will surprise you, that at such a young age, how can somebody be so intuitive or can read people so well? That's one thing. They may have very good creative talents, which means they could be singers, dancers, painters. Especially painting is coming out very strongly. They may have issues with nightmares, by the way. So at a young age, they may have sleep issues. They may be the baby who wakes up cranky in the middle of the night or scared. Those are certain personality aspects that they may have, okay? With the moon showing up here, whether you're a man or a woman watching this, whoever is going to take up, because please remember, I genuinely feel, and I've seen up growing this, wow, I can't speak. I've grown up seeing this. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not necessary that a male always takes the father figure or a female always takes the mother figure in a family, right? Sometimes a child may feel more motherly connection towards the father, and that's very much possible. Whoever is, and of course this is a channel wherein I strongly support LGBTQ community, so you could be like, again, same gender parents that we're talking about. Whoever the child feels a strong motherly bond with, that connection is coming from a past life cycle. That connection is that expansiveness. So if you're the one who the child feels a motherly bond with, they will help you expand your understanding of the world. You will help them feel very connected. There's this telepathic thing that you will feel with this child, with this baby, because even though we are not talking about the relationship aspect yet, but that's already coming in. This child is very connected to their mother, okay? Whoever they assign as their mother figure. Sometimes it's also a grandparent that children feel a deep connection or a motherly connection with, like a grandmother figure, okay? They will consistently switch interest and hobbies in their teenage, in their early 20s. They may change a lot of jobs, and that may to the outside world, to your relatives, to your friends, to you, look like as if they don't know what they're doing, but that's their path. That is their journey. They're not here to follow the norm when it comes to this is the way that they're going to have, this is how it's going to be. They may drop out of school, then they may decide in their late 30s that they want to go back to education. They will have a zigzag path, and there's that message here that just make peace with it. I mean, they're not wrong, they're not lost. That's their journey, and that's how they expand, that's how they understand the world and process the world, okay? There's a very strong message here again coming in that this child will not take much, as in you or your partner can't really add or change the trajectory of their life, so you're just going to waste breath trying to change much about them, okay? They are going to be much influenced by their larger network of friends, so it's very important for you to allow them to be exposed to different kind of cultures, different kind of people, because their friend circle, 11th house rules our larger community, our larger friend circle. They may also be philanthropists at a very young age, which means they build a connection, especially with the aquatic world, which means they may be they're like a water baby, okay? So beaches make them happy, oceans make them happy. They may paint a lot of pictures of oceans and water bodies. This is a child whose imagination can run wild. So they may also be a child who has those imaginative friends, like I used to make up and talk to myself, and you got to let that aspect of their personality thrive, because there's going to be enough bullies who will try to succumb that aspect of them, but I don't think it bothers them much if you don't get bothered by it. So unless you feel that they need to be a certain way, they really don't care about their peers or their friend circle. They're very content in their own world. They may have just one or two friends, and they may not at the younger years even care to build those deep relationships, okay? Because their mind is a wonderful place. Their mind is the place which entertains them enough, okay? This could also be a child who's very good at any kind of a game or a gamification, because I know, where the world is heading. By the way, if you can hear weird sounds, I have dogs in the room, so excuse me. They will be good at gaming. They will be good at picking up those virtual stimulus, okay? That's of course the future by the time, your kids or my kids come into this world. They'll have a deep, compassionate nature, but it may not be immediately evident to anybody who comes in contact with them. They may seem very aloof and they're not listening and they're zoned out and they don't care, but that's not always true. They will pick the people that they want to connect with, and they'll have a deeper understanding of how the world runs in a very, and it's like the child who usually doesn't engage or involve or participate in many things that usually kids are excited about, and then one day they'll just say something which makes everybody in the room, all the adults, go like, wow, that was deep. Where does that come from? Okay, their understanding of love as an energy would be very strong, and maybe one of the wounds that they heal for you is a childhood wound of not feeling enough nurtured, and there's a message here that this child will have the ability to kind of make anybody see different perspectives. So let's say, this is that kind of a person who, let's say there's a conflict happening at home between you and a grandparent or their grandparent. This child may be very connected to the grandparent actually. It's coming up again and again. So they can help you see the other person's perspective at very young age, like 10, 11, 12, and you'd be like surprised, like, oh my God. Otherwise, it seems like as if they're not even listening, they're spaced out, they're in their own world. But then when you go and speak to them, it seems like they know everything's what's going around them, and they know how to treat their adults, and they're very aware. Okay, they're very emotionally aware, but they may not on the outer aspect show it or reflect it or express it. Okay. There could be a particular quirk that makes them stand out, or a particular body mark that makes them stand out. Very specific messages, of course. We're reading for a collective, not true for everybody, but maybe they'll have like a scar on their face, or maybe they'll have something on their hand, a visible mark that is very unique to them. Okay, and that could be for the physical aspects of it. They will also be people who would not be much interested in so if it's a boy, he's not going to be interested, let's say, in the typical things that, we see young boys interested in. Maybe he's not very interested in cars, or maybe whatever is the gender norm of the child that in the society that they're born in, at the time that they're born in, they would have a very different outlook and expression, okay? And their sense of dressing will be a strong way for this child or for this kid to express themselves. Okay, like they color their hair, or they wear like a certain kind of a clothing, or they pick a certain kind of a color and they just go all in. That's their way of expression, which is why as a profession, anything artistic, anything creative, anything imaginative, this child can really, really thrive. Okay, they may have very peculiar demands as well from you at a very young age about going to certain kinds of places they want to travel. Like, imagine like a 16-year-old just says like, I am very clear, like on this vacation I am really wanting to go to this place, and that place could be like Peru or something very spiritual, or something which a teenager would not typically pick for their vacation spot, and you'd be like, okay, I don't know where that's coming from, but that's where we're going. So they are very clear-headed, even though they may seem foggy or spaced out. That's a very unique thing about that personality that I'm channeling here. They will have dreamy eyes. There's something about their eyes that people will always get attracted to. Whether it's a male or a female child, people will talk about how beautiful their eyes are or how dreamy their eyes are. That's something coming in as well. Okay, this child may be really interested in either aquatic animals or space, or both of them. Okay, those, because these are these deep, expansive spaces that your child wants to dream and imagine about. They may really be curious about UFOs and aliens and what lies in the deep ocean, those kind of things. Okay, this person or this personality will also somewhere in their late 20s developed an so this could be one of those people who say like, I never want to get married, or I never want to buy a house, or I never want to do something that the society just expects to be normal. This child may just stand up and say, no, I'm not interested. Or maybe they are like, they are into same-sex marriage, or something is unique about this person that makes them stand out, and you may not immediately notice it about your kid, but it comes out, or maybe they're just discovering that about their personality, and it comes out way later in their mid-20s or late 20s. Okay, that's a lot about the first part, where we've covered a little bit about what this little girl or little boy's personality is. I've not yet got to the gender aspect of it. While I do strongly feel this could be both, I'm not strongly feeling like is this a girl or a boy, because I feel in the larger collective of whoever's picked pile 1, you know, it could be both a girl or a boy I'm reading for. But it's definitely an indigo child. It's definitely somebody whose understanding of certain natural laws of the world is very clear. Okay, they will not be in any form at any level a classist, if you know what I mean. Like, they can have equal fun with a roadside seller's baby or kid, and they can be the star of the show when they're at a 5-star hotel with like all the elite children sitting there. So they don't have those kind of filters in their mind when it comes to engaging with the world outside, because their understanding of unity consciousness is just natural to them. Okay, we're going to dive into your relationship further and more insights into their personalities. Currently feels like I'm only reading for one person here, as in one child, one baby here, but if it shows up differently in the second part, we will look at that as well. Where did I leave the cards for you? 1 second. Okay, cool. Now, if you've connected with this much of the reading, and if you kind of sense, because I do sense this child before being born will give you a lot of dreams, okay, will give you a lot of insights. Like, there's an inner knowing that you will have that I'm going to birth someone, or I'm going to be a parent to someone who is extremely intuitive, extremely unique, extremely imaginative. I don't know why I'm also thinking Mozart for some reason, the popular musician Mozart. So I don't know, maybe Austria really fascinates them. Maybe that music is important to you, but that's coming in strongly. Okay, now we're going to look at your relationship and how does this unfold for you. We have Ace of Swords. Look at that, clear-headed. This child will not hold back from confrontations, from giving you the most blunt answer possible, from and not when just they're teenage, you know, this could be like just their core personality. That's how they speak, that's how they react to you. Okay, and which is why maybe at the initial years it's going to be kind of difficult for at least one of the parents here to understand, how do I speak to this person, how do I manage this person. 9 of Cups. It's a wish come true. That's how you see the kid nonetheless. Okay, this baby will make you feel like, oh my god, I have more on my plate than I could have ever asked for. And even though they're very direct, even though they're very different, there's immense joy that this child brings in. I mean, every kid does bring in that, but you really feel like, oh, this is my dream come true. King of Wands to the Hierophant. Okay, there is strongly that message coming in that either a grandfather or a grandmother will be deeply connected. Okay, maybe like even a reincarnation for some of you, but I feel like more like this person is there in this child's life in their growing years, and they leave a strong impact on that child. Okay, this child needs to be exposed to different cultures. I'm again saying that because we have that world card, you know, the world domination that it's being shown. Hierophant represents teaching, religious, different aspects, higher learnings. So they will be interested in spirituality, philosophy, religion. These are things that the child needs to be exposed with. You will develop a deep bond of some sort of a ritual with them. So maybe like both of you do yoga together. Maybe like you spend the evening watching National Geographic Channel together. There's certain rituals between the two of you which will be a strong aspect of your relationship. You will add a lot of confidence to this child. Okay, you will add that confidence of you can go win the world. Don't listen to them who make you feel like you're not good enough, and they'll really hang on to that words of yours. Okay, Justice. Okay, when it comes to zodiac signs, now I do see strong Venus rule apart from moon ruled now. So Justice is ruled by Libra, Hierophant is ruled by Taurus. So they could have very strong Venus aspects, which again connects to their ability to understand art. Okay, this baby is definitely artistic. If that's not the case, they may be equally interested in administration, fixing the world, making laws and policies, because the world amuses them. Okay, the world, the way it runs, it confuses them, it amuses them. So they may also be somebody who eventually, from being a very artistic baby, may switch into something very legal as a profession. Okay, they look up to you when it comes to being fair. That's something that's coming in here as well, like making the right decision, like doing the right thing, like being, they will look up to you, or your relationship with them will have a lot to do with teaching, or moral values, or what is the right way to live life. That is the role you play, whoever's watching this read, I mean, mother or father, whichever role you're playing, into their lives, okay? We have the 7 of Wands. I'll take that reversed. This baby may get defensive with feedback, or you may sometimes, it's not like there's no parent and child relationship where there's no fight. They may trigger certain things or certain value systems that you've been very defensive about, okay? This could be their choice of partner, this could be their choice of profession, and you will have a phase with this child wherein you're struggling to remember, like, where does the line end, or where do you draw the line of what is acceptable to you. Of course, eventually, I hope everything has to be accepted. It's their life, it's their personality. But there is a phase wherein it's going to be difficult to accept the decisions that they're making, okay? Page of Cups. There is this inner child healing we already touched upon when it comes to your relationship with them. There will be many aspects of this baby that you will feel, or people will say, oh my God, that's you as a baby. You know, you used to do the same thing as a baby. You had the same quirk like that as a baby. And that playfulness that many of us lose as we keep getting older, this child will allow you to become that playful. You know, I'm suddenly seeing a vision of someone punching someone and then somebody playing in the mud and really being carefree, really being able to live life like a child is what the baby comes in and brings into your life, okay? Which is, of course, beautiful. That's that inner child healing, that playfulness that perhaps you have lost, and this baby will allow you to experience that again, okay? And again, Page of Cups brings me back to that artistic endeavor, that creativity, that ability to literally paint. Look at that, he's literally painting, okay? Your relationship with them will also trigger someone else in the family, which is very funny. I don't know why I'm channeling that, but it's going to be very confusing to a lot of people in your family to see, like, how can a parent and a child have this kind of a relationship, okay? They will idolize you sometime in their late teens or early 20s, like, for being somebody who could, you expand their world. That's the word, that's the phase I'm listening to. We had expansiveness as a card as well. You expand their horizon, you expand their world, because maybe everybody else around this child makes them believe that it's a very narrow world. There's just only this much. But every time they come and speak with you, you have always allowed them to dream big, to add something more, and they cherish that about this relationship, okay? There is, of course, again, that reminder that there is a phase which will be difficult for you, or you may get very defensive, but I don't think they hold that against you, because to them, you're the favorite parent if between the two of them, okay? They may not always say it, but you're definitely the favorite parent amongst the two, okay? Let's see more about what is coming in. Coffin, okay? We have stork, and birds. All right. No reading, is all bird, it's all happy news only. See, I strongly am sensing this grandparent that is coming in. So the death of the grandparent, eventually when they pass off, will have a deep impact on this child, okay? And that child may mourn that loss for way longer than maybe anybody else in the family. They may or may not be able to express it, but this connection, once gone, will have a deep impact, and they will keep looking for that person. They'll keep finding it. Oh, I'm getting very emotional over this. Okay. Some of you may already have a child and you're watching this and you're connecting to it. Very few of you. But I mean, this reading is for future kids, but if you're watching who has children, okay. That number 8 is a repeat that's come up a couple of times in your reading, which is the number of Saturn, okay, which means this child, it's not like just because they're creative and imaginative. Please understand how unique they are. They are going to go through a lot of failures, a lot of rejection. They will love very few people, and the loss of these people will have a deep impact on they get sad, okay, they get really sad, and they may not always be able to express it, okay. Information and transparency and honesty is what they will always seek out from you. I'm getting a very specific message here, so it's not for everybody, but if you ever come at a point between you and this child wherein you need to decide about sugarcoating something or softening the blow of something, or I don't know why I'm sensing also for some of you, because the Justice and the Hierophant can sometimes talk about a divorce or a separation. Maybe if you go through a separation with this baby in the picture, they would expect you to be absolutely honest with them, direct with them, give them the truthful information, and let them see things as they are and then decide what they want to do. Because this is a child who will have a deep connection with you regardless of whether or not you choose to raise the baby with, whoever the baby, your co-parent is. So what they will need from you is honesty and clarity, and this relationship will thrive between the two of you, because neither of you hold back from saying what needs to be said. Neither of you act like you want to avoid a confrontation. They will respect you and they will love you, because you would be that person that they know that I can come to them, and as honest and as innocent as a child is, they expect absolute blunt truth from you. Okay, and that's something which is strongly coming in, which I think you will always be to them as well. Okay, because there are clearly people around them who have very I don't want to call toxic, because that's a little exaggeration of that word, but troubled. Okay, this child has some troubled adults around them who do not know how to regulate their own emotion, which then becomes all the more important for you who's watching this reading, and whenever that child comes into your life, to remember that honesty is the best policy, because this child does have a very strong intuition. Okay, they will come to you because they know, and sometimes you'll feel like, those kids, like, oh, he or she says I love you when they want me to buy them something. That's also an aspect of this relationship. Okay, like they would want you to, like, they'll butter you up, or they'll be like very nice to you when they want something out of you, and then they like act like, oh, I don't care and I don't know you. That's just a very simple, playful way of them expressing their bond with you. Okay, it's a very funny thing, but even if this child has siblings, they may have many traits of a single child, and which is why they may develop a deeper friendship with you as a parent than actually being a parent-child relationship. And you would benefit a lot if you can develop that friendship instead of treating them like, I'm the father or I'm the mother and you listen to me. It's not going to work that way, because there are enough people in their life anyway who are trying to treat them in that manner. Okay, the health of this kid is overall really solid. Just be careful around the age 9 or 18 of them, like, going through like some sort of either a health issue or an accident, which again goes back to that previous message. They may not be that bothered about it, but the family members around them may try to make it bigger than it is. Like, I'll give an example, and I'm not saying that's what I'm seeing, but I'm giving you this example to kind of connect the dots. Like, let's say a 18-year-old girl has an accident and she has a bad scar on her hand, and it doesn't really bother her as such, but every time she looks at her mother or her grandparent or her sister, they seem very troubled about that scar, and she's not very troubled about the scar. So she will look up to you and expect you, like, your reaction to it will make a difference to this person, okay, to their confidence, to their ability to go out in the world, because again, they see you as the King of Wands, and King of Wands is that emperor-like energy, that confident energy, that ability to be expansive. Okay, we have loved reading this energy. I hope you have enjoyed. I mean, I'm enjoying this kid. Okay, I would love to have this child, because they really don't care about what the world thinks, and I love those children. If you've so far connected with this reading, I want you guys to leave me a little bird emoji in the comment section below. Tells me that you've picked pile 1, tells other people that they have picked pile 1, and it's a beautiful relationship, pile number 1s. Okay, like, they make you a child, they make you see the truth, and it's a relationship where there is absolute honesty. Okay, and that's something which is beautiful to find in a parent relationship. I'm going to look at these 3 cards before we wrap up your reading to see any angel guidance messages that comes in for you here and now while you're watching this reading. Okay, we have base chakra. Okay, are you scared about finances? How will you manage children? How will the child be? Something about your financial aspects of the life. This is a message coming in that you and your baby would be fine. Okay, you'd have enough money. Money is anyway not what they judge you for. Money doesn't impress this child anyway. Okay, so if that's a fear for you about safety, about security, about financial security, you're going to be okay. Okay, you are profoundly clairvoyant. I strongly feel like as if either you or somebody else around you has clairvoyant abilities or clair abilities. It could be any kind. You may already have a friend, a relative, a wife, a sister, a brother, somebody in your closer circle who has psychic abilities, and that person could be acting like the guru, Okay, so I want you to remember whenever you have a baby, or come back and tell me, or if you're already planning one, that this child will need exposure to the metaphysical world. Whether or not you believe in it, whether or not anybody in your family has done this, you need to explore this, you need to know about this, you need to educate yourself about this, because your child may be very gifted. Okay, Pisces moon, very gifted around these things. Archangel Raphael, there's a healing that you need to go through, healing of your own inner child, healing of your own understanding of what kids are here for, what kids are meant to bring into our lives, which is what Spirit, Archangel Raphael wants you to focus on. Can you heal your money wounds? Can you heal your understanding of money? If you're somebody who doesn't have enough education about money, this is again a healing that you need to do. You need to educate yourself about finances, because this child will again look up to you for those kind of clarity and those kind of knowledge as well. Okay, I've loved doing this. Okay, do leave me a bird emoji, hit the like button if you enjoyed this reading and it was entertaining, fun, uplifting. It helps me a lot and goes a long way. I will see you in your next one. Take care. Bye bye. Hello and welcome, pile number 2s. I've loved the image that I've picked for this. I mean, I literally didn't even pick it. I mean, Spirit just screamed at me, this image, okay? So I'm very drawn to pile 2 and 3 as well. So I'm keen to see what comes up. Of course, with the image itself, the child does show a deep affection to animals, which of course is very close to my heart as well. So I'm excited to see what your future children shows up for you. We have, so how are we going to use this? If you've skipped this shuffling part in the pile preparation, we'll use these cards to look at the personality. So we had an extra card for you of the children or child that comes in for your reading. We'll use these to look at the relationship that you have with the child, and sum this up with guidance from angel cards about here and now. What do you need to know when you're watching this reading about being a parent or parenting in general? Okay, so let's dive right into it. The personality of this child. Okay, so we have liberation. Dragonfly is very strongly connected as a spirit animal with Aquarius, by the way, so that's just an FYI. We'll see how that rolls. Grounded, look at that cow spirit coming in. 2 greens here, very connected to Gaia, Mother Earth, heart chakra, that's coming in strong. Okay, we have belonging, beautiful, the number 1, and abandoned, and we have a child, a mother and a child here. Wow. Okay, we have repelled, number 26, and fascinated. Okay, and we have the zodiac sign of Virgo. Why am I not surprised with the amount of earth energy coming in? This energy makes so much sense. Virgo rules our 6th house, our day-to-day activities, our health. Mercury, oh my god, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. This child may have Mercury in Virgo. This child may be ruled by Virgo and Mercury simultaneously, of course. We have the 5th house. Beautiful. This is a love child. Okay. 5th house rules our house of romance, our house of pleasure, and our house of children. Okay. So for many of you, this is a love child. Saturn. Wow. Yes, you guys had 2 planet cards. So we have Saturn here. We're looking into the personality. Okay, for this pile, just give me a minute. Let me just read and channel in, because I'm feeling like a contradictory message coming up. Just a second. Okay, yeah. All right, let's start. So first off, I think I'm channeling here for 2 kids, not 1. Okay. They may have an age difference for some of you. Now this is a general reading, so remember that, you know, I'm going to give you options because I'm seeing 2 different set of families here, so you know, connect to whichever one. For some of you it's like an elder brother and a younger sister, and for some of you it's twins. Okay, I'm reading for 2 children for sure. Okay, that's one. Now one of these personalities that we're tapping into, which is why I'm not surprised I was drawn to pull 2 planet cards for just this file. One of these personalities is, I don't want to call them a dreamer, but let's say they're an intellectual. They are in their mind. They can be a great writer. They could be somebody who understand technology really well. They could be like somebody who's into coding, or they can really be something like an engineer. someone whose mind is supremely sharp, somebody who's very good with writing and intellectual tasks, and even computer, okay, or any kind of internet or software or computer. That's one child that we're talking about here. The second child is very good with their hands, so art and so anything that links to hand. This could be all the way from being a car mechanic to being a tarot reader to being a banker to being any profession wherein ground, earth, numbers, using your hands comes into play, okay. One of the child here is all in their head while the other one is a doer, okay. So one kid of yours as a personality that I'm looking at would be somebody like, you know, they got to first imagine it in their head, they want to first talk about it, they want to share their ideas, they want to brainstorm. So there's a lot of talking that happens with that child, okay. The other child is more of, they just learn by doing. So no amount of conversations and no amount of reading and no amount of, that doesn't work for them. They want to like do things, touch things, feel things, experiment with things, and that's how they understand. These are the two stark personalities that I'm very strongly coming in. Now, of course, like I said, they could be twins, they could be an age difference. This varies between, you know, this is a large group that we're reading for, so I'll leave that open, okay? They both, as children, love the love that you hold for your partner, okay. There is a deep bond and there's a deep affection that your children feel with your spouse, your significant other. Even if you're a single parent and you've not chosen to have a partner, they love the way you understand romantic relationships or your approach towards romantic relationships. So let's say you're like a single father who has two children, and you may not be currently co-parenting them with somebody else, but they love the way you understand love, they love the way you understand relationships, they love the way your understanding of romance is, okay. So they take a lot of inspiration from the way you treat your spouse or your partner, or the bond that you share with them, or just simply, even if you're a single parent, your understanding of relationships. That has an impact on both the kids' understanding of love, okay. When we're talking about so we just call them Mercury child and Saturn child, so that I can give you explanations and it's easier for you to understand, okay. The Mercury child is a free spirit, okay. They don't want to be told what to do. They will figure it out. They will be the last minute learner. They will be they have shades of ADHD personalities, okay. So they just enter in and fly out, and they're very jumpy and impulsive, and there's a lot happening in their mind. They may also have very strong Gemini placements in their personality, okay. And that personality that I'm reading for brings in a certain amount of, you know, both your kids will fight a lot, okay, because they're very different in their approach towards life, at least in the younger years, okay. They would have, you know, one would believe that the other one doesn't know how to live their life, and there's a certain struggle that I see in you as a parent to kind of keep them apart and not fight so much. But that transformation is, you know, that argument, that friction, that is shaping the personalities of both the people, okay, and both the children. And even though it may not always seem fun in the house, like in the house it may feel like, oh my god, it's a madhouse, like two kids are constantly fighting, they are having a good time. They'll still have a great relationship by the time they are in their 20s, because they value each other's bickering or banter. You may not be the one who's enjoying it as much, okay. That's something to remember, okay. So there is that repulsion energy that they bring in as siblings towards each other, and that may be the reason of why you feel like, oh, there's no peace at home, okay. Talking about the Saturn child personality, they will be, you know, those kind of kids like I'm watching like a child with specs and who's very academically strong, who does their homework on time, goes to bed at time, like those kids which you feel like, wow, like, am I really raising this child, or was this child already born like an adult? The Saturn child may actually shame you for your habits, for your way of being, because the Saturn child is just so sorted, like so disciplined. They have their things organized. This child may even also have OCD. They just know, they're very meticulous. They care about competition. They want to be the child who comes first in class. They may not be very good at sports though, by the way, but academically a very strong child, while this other one is just a free spirit, a wild spirit. And that's pretty fun, right? I mean, that's pretty entertaining, even though exhausting for parenting, okay? One of them will have a certain incident in their early 20s or mid-teens, which will bring these two kids together. And that incident may not be very positive, okay? I'm not here being a Willy Wonka, so I'm going to read what I see. That incident could be like a bad accident, it could be like a bad bullying, it could be something not going right in one of these kids' life that brings the two siblings together, and they will be from there on an inseparable unit. Okay, and they will be, there's this twin connection that they have come into this world with. They have a purpose that they need to fulfill in this world, and from that incident onwards, they will become rock solid close together. Okay, and everybody in the world, everybody in your community will be like, oh my god, I've never seen siblings that connected as these two. Okay, farming Mother Earth, planet Earth, animals, being conscious about how do we spend our money. These are things both the children will have in common. Okay, so both will care about conscious living, both will care about giving back to the community, both will care about Mother Earth and animals and taking care of them. Perhaps you are also somebody who has that aspect. One of them is a reader and one of them is a doer. That's again and again coming up, so I'm just repeating myself. But in their own ways, they will want to make the world a better place from the very get-go of you knowing them. Okay, a very specific message, but one of your child could also be, if not both of them, like those. Wow, I always blank out when I get an example right 2 seconds after. UNESCO? Did I say that right? People who represent their countries and speak on certain topics. That kind of a child. Okay, that could be possibly the Mercury kid. Okay, this is a self-learner. Your Mercury kid personality that I'm reading for is a self-learner. Okay, they may not be very great at school, but they're not stupid, and they would have their own way of making their path into the life. You know, that liberation card is very strongly connected to Mercury here, and that Saturn card is very connected to the grounded energy of Saturn. Okay, one of them may have slow success in life, whatever success means to them. Another one may actually get quick success, but then, you know, like highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. They can't sustain the thing. Okay. Both kids here, whoever, if you choose to have a father figure, and if you are the father figure who's watching this, in pile 1, I could sense a strong connection to the the mother figure. Here, I strongly feel like of course, kids love both parents, but they will be very similar in certain personality traits to whoever is the biological father of this child. Okay, like either in looks or in their habits or in the way they live life. There is a certain very obvious familiarity which people will talk about, like, oh, this is just like their father. Okay, it's a very funny message, but one of your kids may also be like, you know, very clear at a very young age who they want to marry. Okay, and it'll be like you're watching or you're witnessing a childhood romance play out in front of you between one of your child and somebody else, of course. Like, you know, you will be a witness to a romantic story unfolding for your child from a very young age. Like, they will be very clear, this is the person I want to marry, this is the person I want to be with, and that's it for them. Okay, I can't really tap in whether it's the Mercury child or the Saturn child, because it feels like that, like a more Saturn personality, but that's not really coming in for me very clearly. So it could be either or, but there's clearly a friendship, a romantic relationship, which is very influential in shaping the personality of this child. Okay, age 27 is very relevant to both your children. Okay, both your future kids. Something will make a huge difference in their personality at the age 27. Some event, some incident, some success, something like that. Okay, there's a certain sense of simplicity that both these personalities have. even though they're very successful, even though they are intelligent, even though they are disciplined, even though, because that connection to Gaia is very linked for them with being simple. Okay, there's a simplicity with which they approach life. There's a simplicity with which they connect with everybody around them. Okay, and that simplicity, that directness is their biggest charm in both your kids. Okay, in their own ways. One may seem more serious, while other may seem more philosophical, or more funny, or more playful, but they're simple people, okay, at the core of them. And this bond that they share with Mother Gaia will always give them financial abundance. Okay, this is not a family which will struggle when it comes to money, especially after the birth of your second child. If it's not twins, money is not a challenge for you at all. Okay, because the energy that they bring in, the simplicity with which they approach life, the energy towards Gaia that they send is going to attract a lot of abundance for not just them, but their entire family. Okay, and these are the kind of kids, like, people will say, oh, they're lucky. Okay, they're just lucky. People in their friend circle, people want to be around them. People are charmed by them because one of them is so disciplined, so sorted. I mean, what is wrong in being that, right? And the other one is so free-spirited and is so accepting and is so curious that they really light up. Not in the way that they are loud, while the spirited child could be, but just in the way of the gentleness with which a child can make, adults feel like, okay, I'm feeling okay. If you're somebody who struggles with a lot of anxiety while you're watching this, your kids will actually, even though you're hearing so much bickering and banter, and they bring you peace, they make you feel grounded, they give you a purpose. That's what these two kids bring into your life. Okay, I am strongly sensing 2 boys here as gender, but even if it's not 2 boys, there's definitely 1 male child here. Okay, there could be 1 girl, 1 boy. For some of you, it's 2 boys for sure, but it's definitely 1 boy here. That's a very strong energy coming in. Okay, and most likely if it's 1 boy, 1 girl, the boy is the Saturn energy that I'm reading here for sure. Okay, we're going to move towards the second aspect, wherein we're going to look at deep dive into your relationship with these children. How do they see you? What role are you playing? Meanwhile, I want you guys to leave me a plant emoji in the comment section below. If you've stayed with me so far, tells me that you've picked pile number 2, tells other people that you've picked pile number 2 as well, helps me with the engagement of the content as well. So leave me a plant emoji for your 2 Gaia babies. That's what I'm going to call this pile. They are Gaia babies, okay? Let's see, what relationship do you share with your kids? How does this play out? We have the Knight of Pentacles. Look at the amount of earth energy coming in, guys. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. These could be some strong placements for them. One of the children could be a Capricorn, another one could be a Virgo, okay? We've already seen that with Saturn and Mercury coming out. Knight of Pentacles. High Priestess. Oh, yours was the pile I just remembered where it jumped out, right? All 7 cards came together. Scorpio, energy showing in. 5 of Swords. Okay. 7 of Pentacles. Loving this. Wheel of Fortune. We talked about it already, but I'm going to place that here. Page of Swords. Again, your Mercury child's energy coming in. And the 8 of Wands. Okay. This is a really cute pile, guys. I mean, I would claim this if I were you. Okay, I would claim this. It's such a fun, I mean, not fun in the sense like every day is, the La La Land kind of fun, but it's fun, it's entertaining, and we'll talk about this, okay? Relationship with your future kids. That's what we're talking about in this aspect. First off, you, whoever is watching this, you're going to be divinely intuitive, whether you're a mother or a father, as to what is your child thinking. Like, you will surprise both of your kids by how well you can read them. Like, you could be the one whose eyes are closed and you don't know, you're taking a deep nap, but and your child will just get startled, like, what is this woman or man up to? Like, you can sense what they're up to. You have a very strong knowing of what your child needs. You can really cater to what they need, and they're always amazed by it. Okay, they're amazed by the way you can just see right through them. Okay, see right through their heart, understand what they really need, and they would always respect you for it. Like, you're the person who with the least amount of words, they know that you will get it, that you know what they're feeling, that you know what, and that is their emotional safe space. Okay, they know that this parent of mine will not need me to explain, elaborate, justify my stance in anything. This parent will know what do I need, what's going on. Okay, they will keep you definitely on your toes, that's for sure. Okay, especially if it's two boys that we're talking about, I mean, they will keep you on your toes. Okay, you're always busy, there's something to do, there's something to attend to, there's some event, there's something going on, and that busyness is literally, I have to stand up because I always notice how my body feels when I'm doing a reading. I'm a clairsentient. I had to like stand up because there's so much energy in my body right now to kind of channel it. So this family, until at least I really want to call them the boys. Okay, it could be that you have a daughter as well, but that's not the energy channeling in. The boys really keep you on your feet. Okay, there's something happening all the time. Okay, they seek you most when it comes to planning and big decisions. That's something as a role that you play for them. You will teach them how to not take the stress of other people's expectation, because both in their own way are winners, both in their own way, whether it's the spree spirit or the Saturn child, they just want to win. They have that streak of competition, right? And you will teach them how to not allow the gossip, the naysayers, the jealousy, the comparison, their inner self voice that kind of pulls them down. How do you ignore it? How do you avoid it? That's the relationship respite that they seek from you. Okay, when their mind gets too heavy with, this is that kind of family where the parent doesn't have to worry about the grades that the child will get, but the parent has to keep an eye out for, I hope my child is not burning themselves out because they're just trying to do everything at the same time. Okay, these kids will make you patient. If you're somebody who currently as a personality type believes that you do not have enough patience or you can't let things be, your children will change that about you. Okay, you will teach them and you will yourself become somebody who knows that Rome wasn't built in a day. Have patience, approach things gradually, slow down, don't let your mind give you trickery. Okay, your children will attract a lot of evil eye, and again I feel like you can sense that. You will be their energetic protection even after you're long gone, even after well into their 50s and 60s. When they are old, they will sense your protection, because you always will intuitively know, like, this person is not sending the right energy towards my kids, and you'd protect them. Okay, there's a sense of protection energetically, not like your helicopter parent, but in the sense of they energetically know that this parent will protect me, will always guide me to see the truth of other people, etc, etc. Okay, Wheel of Fortune always talks about the tides changing. Okay, and again with these two kids in the house, no day, no year is boring, that's for sure. So if one year one of the kids is going out to travel to Europe, the same year another kid might be becoming a football champion, and there's a lot to do, there's a lot to manage, there's a lot happening in the house. Okay, so you're always again on the toes, because even when good things are happening, they're happening together. Okay, and like I said, financial abundance will rise for you post the birth of these two kids. Okay, they're lucky when it comes to money. They will also make you better planners. If you currently run your life with a lot of chaos, because the demands that these two kids will bring into your life, they will make you better planners. Okay, ideas overload. One of your kid is definitely a reader, and you would enjoy brainstorming with them. This is a personality aspect that I think whoever's listening to this has also in them, by talking and thinking and brainstorming together, and that's a love language that the two of you will always share. That's something that you both enjoy, the ideas that you kind of connect with. Okay, this is honestly a beautiful relationship, except the fact, just remember, sometimes you may be trying to bring them a perspective of wisdom, and you need to be patient for that child to kind of emotionally be mature enough to get it. You may actually get triggered because you may feel like, oh my god, I am your mother, I'm your father, I'm telling you this is how you do it, why aren't you listening to me? Be patient. Patience is what your parenting will demand out of you, because it's not that they don't see it, but sometimes it can be annoying for even them to kind of feel like, just because this person knows, what's going to happen or what am I feeling. He or she is not giving me enough space to discover it in my own way. So be mindful that you don't lose patience or you don't try to push them towards what you know is good for them. Okay, you learn it, and maybe sometimes with hard lessons, to let them be their own person and gradually learn the lessons about themselves. Okay, self-discovery, it needs to be their own journey. You can't really keep a mirror hanging in front of them and ask them to kind of learn it their way. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's see what your Lenormand cards talk about. You guys will definitely have pets at home. I mean, I didn't even talk about it because it was so evident with that image that you've picked. Cats, dogs, mouse. I mean, they will have peculiar animals that they may also bring in, like a lizard, a snake, or something like which people usually don't keep at home as pets. They will want to keep all kinds of animals at home as pets. Okay, we have the lady. This is beautiful. I strongly feel this is again hinting towards that love story that we saw in one of your. This is also talking about you being the lady of the home. Okay, that you really get that respect from your kids. Okay, that's beautiful. Oh, you have the garden card with children. I mean, again, we're talking about Mother Earth. You will have a family house with this. Maybe you love it, or maybe your kids want it, where there's a garden where they can play, like outdoors, like climb trees, like smell the roses, maybe a summer home or something like that. They care to be outdoors. These are not kids who can just sit home all day. Okay, so you need to give them space, and you need to make a space for them to run around, to be in the nature, and ideas will flow from there. Okay, I strongly feel now with that garden card coming in, it could be like you have 2 children, then somebody else you adopt, or you have 3, 4 kids. There's a lot of kids here. Okay, and we have both ladies showing up. This is beautiful, guys. Lenormand has 2 lady cards, and it has never happened to me that both of them have shown up in the same one. Okay, now I'm channeling a daughter here for you. Okay, this shows up very strongly. Some of you will have a girl child apart from these 2. So this could be like 3 children. Maybe it's 2 twins and then another child. This combination will be different, but there's a girl's energy here. Okay, also there's a transformation that will happen as a part of you being a parent. From, remember me saying like you're chaotic, if you currently don't have a routine, your Saturn child will shame you to that extent that you'll become this lady. Okay, this is that peasant girl. This is that lady who has richness, royalty. Okay, you will be rich when it comes to kids. That's what I'm trying to say. So you could be a parent of multiple kids. You could be kids with fur babies, with like a house full, and it's a madhouse, but it's fun. That is the relationship that I'm seeing here. Okay, your daughter could be like someone who's taken a completely different personality from her brothers. That's again coming in very strongly now that we have the 2 lady cards showing in, who is neither a free spirit nor strong in academics. She just does her own thing, and she surprises everybody else in the family. Like, how is she functioning in between these 2 people? Okay, I didn't channel a lot of messages for the girl child, but I do have her coming in now, so that relationship aspect does show in. I do feel with this relationship clearly you will become a better human being in every way possible. When it comes to discipline, when it comes to accepting different aspects of life, when it comes to being a better manager of your home, your kids will make you a more sorted, pulled together. And if you're somebody who worries about, I don't know if I'm really meant for it, I don't know if I can really manage it, I mean, this is destinies at play, and you clearly are going to be. 8 of Wands is multiple opportunities, multiple things coming your way, and just juggling it all together in. Okay, we're going to come towards the last aspect of your reading, which is what do the angels want you to know here and now as a parent, or somebody who wants to become a parent. Okay, if you've so far resonated with this reading, a quick reminder, that like button goes a long way for me. It's a simple task, and you know how YouTube works. Share it with a friend if you feel they will enjoy it. Power, willpower, determination, discipline. We've talked about this a lot. There's a very strong masculine energy with this. You need to get a better control, and the more disciplined you start becoming, the more determined you start becoming, the more clarity you have about your willpower, the better it is. Okay, taking charge of your life in positive ways is what your angels want you to do here and now to become a better parent. You can't make this up. We've shuffled on camera this time. We've talked about animals throughout this reading. Here you go. Animals are protecting you, your children, your future kids. You're perhaps very connected to animals already. So give back to the community, connect to the spirit of animals. If you're somebody who's married and who's trying to conceive and you're facing difficulties there, giving back to animals, strays, will really help you, pile number 2s. Wow. I mean, you can't make this up anymore. Gaia. Okay. Consider if you would want to cut down on your non-veg consumption, on the food that you eat. If you can inculcate more healthy eating, healthy diet, veganism, that's what your energy is being pulled towards. And if you're somebody who struggles with diets, struggles with your willpower, that is again that message coming in from spirit that your children will demand you to have a lot of discipline about your life, your nutrition, and you will be somebody who will perhaps again be very focused on nutrition as a parent. So start early, start now. Loved doing this reading. This was so much fun. Tell me if you'd want me to make more parts about these readings. I'm always open to suggestions on topics. Leave me that in the comment section below. Until the next time, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome. Last but not the least, oh my god, I've had so much fun reading 1 and 2, even though it's been like, what, 1 hour, 15 minutes on when we coming into this one. I still have the energy for you guys because, oh, that was fun. Okay, so we're going to use this oracle set along with these cards to look at the personality of the child or the children that come in. Then we're going to use your tarot cards and Lenormand deck to look at the relationship that you have with your kids. And we'll finally sum this up. You had one extra one. Angel card guidance for you to know here and now as a parent what you need to know about parenting or parenthood. On that note, let's get started. For this pile, I didn't feel it for any others, but there's a reading that I've done around future spouse, your home together. Okay, like your family life together. You may want to watch that reading. There is a message for you there which is interconnected to what we're going to read here. Okay, so, oh, we have the dolphin spirit, flow. Okay, faith and flow. Love that. We have cautious. And we have impulsive, 22, showing up. We have shocked, wow, shocked, cautious, wow, amazed, all right. And we have Pluto. Oh my god, I was just thinking Pluto. Here it is. We've shuffled on camera today. This is just so fun. Okay, so we have Pluto. Right off the bat, I got to tell you the message that I'm channeling. One of the kids, and that's probably your daughter, will have paranormal activities in her life. Okay, she can see spirits, she can talk to ghosts, there's an experience around paranormal activities, about spirits, about spirit guides. She has untapped power. Okay, and I'm clearly going with a she because in 1 and 2 there was vagueness around, is it a girl child, is it a boy child, is it one child, is it two child. Here I can very strongly sense a female child with the image also that was very, very evident, and a female child who has paranormal activities happening in their life. Okay, I mean, it may freak you out, but that's just what is very evident here. Okay, we have Sagittarius, not surprised, and we have the second house. All right, we're talking about the personality. Give me a minute, let me just see if I'm sensing 1 or 2 babies or 3. Okay, now I think it's just that one child coming in, and it's that girl child that I'm reading for pile number 3s. I don't know why, but I'm sensing, okay, maybe you have one child as a biological child and you have one child which is like an adopted baby or something. Okay, because there is that divergence happening, or another spirit. Okay, no, wait, I know what this is. Hold on, wait. All right, it is one child. This child has very strong spirit guides, very strong army of energies that it comes with, which is why when I'm trying to tap in, it is not a singular energy. It feels more divergent. So it's one kid for sure. But this is, oh my god, I've done so many readings. This is very, very, very interesting. Let's get started. Personality, okay. I don't want to say eccentric because that's not the word they would connect themselves with. Have you seen, okay, I'm very funny, but have you seen the series Netflix and Wednesday? It's like I'm channeling Wednesday, just a little different in the personality, because Wednesday was still much quiet. This child is not going to be the quiet side of Wednesday, but rather like playful and loud and funny and free-spirited, and just, she's a shocker. Okay, that's the word I'm hearing. She's a shocker. Okay, the personality of this kid is that they know things nobody else does. They do things the way nobody else has ever thought of, and it just surprises you. It surprises everybody around them. Where do they get these crazy ideas? Okay, and by crazy ideas I mean, like, imagine like a child just, and they're very naughty. Okay, this is not like a easy to manage kid. This is a naughty kid. Okay, they would want to like hide away things because they just felt like it. They will want to take a ride on their bicycle to the market at a very young age, not telling anybody where they're going because they just felt like it. They just go and follow the immediate impulse that comes into their mind, because again, they are fearless. This is a fearless baby. This is a baby that genuinely feels that the world can't harm it and the world can't do anything to it. There's a sense of security. Second house is all about our assets, our finances, and our legacy, okay, that we bring in. It's very funny, but they feel so safe, so secured, so connected to you or their family or their life, that they really are, to an extent, almost naive to the evils that the world has. It's not like they don't know about it. They just don't think there's any power bigger than, it's funny, it's almost cocky, like themselves. Okay, like they're very sure-footed about, oh, if they, so example, like if they participate in something, they just feel like, of course I'm going to win it. You know, it's confidence, it's cocky, and it comes from a very secured place. Okay, they, needless to say, have divinely psychic powers. We have Sagittarius, which is about higher knowledge, higher learning. They would love traveling. This is a travel bug baby, which means like from a very young age, they want to go on road trips, they want to go cycling, they want to go sit on a plane. I mean, you know, this is the kind of baby where, you know, imagine your first flight. I'm visualizing this, like you're panicking, like, is this baby going to cry? Is this baby going to be uncomfortable in the flight? And they just sit in the flight and they're like having the best time of their life, and they're entertaining the entire flight, and everybody in the plane is like, wow, that's a 6 months kid. That's how comfortable they are in the travel. Okay, so they want to fly, they want to explore, the world is the oyster for them, and they do not want rules or to many people this child may actually come across as a brat, but I'm not sensing that it's a brat. It's just somebody who knows what they want in life. They're very secure. They just feel like they can do whatever they want to do, and I mean, that's great. I mean, why wouldn't you want a child like that, right, in the first place? Like, why wouldn't you want a kid who feels safe and powerful and secured and known? Okay, they will scare or intimidate their peers, that's for sure. Okay, they will be the adventurous one in their group. They will be the one who wants to do, again, the craziest ideas, the wackiest things that people can think of, and it may scare off some people around them, but they will build some lifelong bonds. Okay, they will have some friends who can die for them, and they would reciprocate that. Okay, this is the kind of person who they love. They will love with all their heart. They may not be very mushy, but they can kill for that person. They can live for that person. You know, that kind of a unshakable, intense faith that Pluto can bring in. Okay, they believe in the paranormal, and they will experience the paranormal, whether or not the world believes in it, whether or not anybody else validates it. They really don't care. And you know, that is why they shock the rest of the world. To a large extent, like, how can you be so sure-footed around things that the world questions? Because to them, those experiences are so real that there's not a single iota of doubt in their mind. Doubt as a thing doesn't exist in this child's personality. Okay, they will experience things firsthand. They will not be the people who would want to hear stories from other people, even though they may love storytelling. They want to experience things on their own. There's a very strong independent streak that I see in this kid. Okay, this is not the child who wants to stand behind the parent or hold the hand, and in the airport they just want to run. They just want to do whatever they want to, whatever drives their attention to. Okay, and I strongly feel that whoever's watching this reading has had that shade in their personality as well. Okay, like the ability to just go do things the way they want to do things. Okay, very intelligent, needless to say. Their intelligence may not come out in the academic success, which of course could be true for some of them, but more like they're money wise. This is a business entrepreneur, you know, like they'll open their business at the age of 21 and be the biggest success that has ever been seen, or they may sell off the business at the age of 27 and then decide to go be a painter. That's the kind of flipping or transformation or change, because Pluto will constantly make that person go through different things. They love power, they love attention, they know how to get it. Okay, this is a child who came in as an enigma into the world, and it will be very evident to everybody who's around them. Okay, boredom is their biggest problem. Okay, to keep them entertained, even with their partners, with their work, with their life, is a struggle for everybody around them, because they have so much that they want to see, they have so much they want to do. Okay, financially, again, this person would be very secured as they keep growing older. I don't see any money troubles, even though I don't see like it's like always they'll have a lot of money. That's not what I'm saying. They may have certain years in their life wherein they're not doing so well financially. Again, doesn't bother them. It's like these things of the worldly things really don't bother them. They can really go with the flow. They really have faith that universe has my back. You know, those kids who just come in and make you feel like, what am I worrying about? Look at that child. Okay, age 36 and 22 is of course showing up very evident for them. Okay, so after their first Saturn return, they may become much mellowed, but until that age, they would be like a fireball. Okay, they just bulldoze over anything and everything that is on their way, and there's nothing in this world that can stop that, because their spirit guides are extremely strong. They just guide in whatever way they want to go. Okay, there's enthusiasm and faith and fortune. You know what? It's like, imagine the same thing if somebody else would fall off the cliff or die, but your child is just lucky. Okay, they can pull off the most craziest things, and it may scare you as an individual or other people, which is why I'm saying there's a sense of intimidation that I sense here from some people around them, but they're not scared. They're okay. Okay, similar to pile 2, this pile will have, you know, it's very funny. I'm sensing like I read at the very end of pile 2s. If you've picked pile 2 and you've come to pile 3, I channeled a girl child. And it's almost like this is that girl child I channeled. Okay, so if you were drawn to pile 2, you may want to watch pile 2, because I feel like 2 and 3 are connected for some of you. Again, remember, this is a large collective reading. I'm not saying this message is for everybody, but it's like this is that third child that Spirit wanted me to read separately, which pile 2s did read. Okay, and it's funny, we had not done that reading then, so pile 2 clearly wouldn't also get to know that this is pile 3. But if you're 3s, clearly you may want to read pile 2 as well. Okay, listen to pile 2 as well. They will have a fascination with, like I said, traveling, which is what they also get fascinated with cars. Okay, this is a child, even though if it's a girl child, they are not that kind of a girl who like, I don't understand cars and this. They love cars, they love vehicles, they want to drive. This is the baby who would want to like buy 15 cars by the time they're 50 and like have this desire to like not just the expensive car, they have a thing for cool cars. Okay, that's the kind of baby that I'm channeling here. I mean, this is fun. 1, 2 and 3 were such different personalities that we've channeled today. This child may also again may shock you, but they have very strong past life regression abilities, which means either they will do it for other people as professionally, or they may at random age or time just tell you about things like, I know that in 1966 this happened in this part of the world and I was sitting there and we did this, and people may think like they're storytelling, but they're not. They just know. Okay, that's what the child is. And oh my god, this is powerful. Okay, this is really powerful. This child will increase your faith in God, in miracles, in if you're somebody who's always been skeptical or held back in any aspect, this child comes in and just makes you look at the world like, oh my god, everything is possible. That's what they make you feel like you can win anything, like you can do anything, because you have a child around you whose life is a constant reminder that anything is possible. Okay, they will be masters of law of attraction, law of assumption, and they do that so naturally that people think that they're just lucky. They're not lucky, they're just tapped in, tuned in. Okay, and it surprises everybody around them. lovely reading here so far. I'm going to jump into our tarot card section of it. Meanwhile, I want you guys to leave me a dolphin emoji in the comment section below, because oh wow, I love the energy of your kid. Okay, I mean, I would love to have this child. Okay, so let's move towards the second part. I hope you leave me that dolphin emoji. Tells me who are the parents, the future parents of this interesting kiddo, and tells other people as well that you are a part of this community, and that's the point. Alright, so your relationship with this child. We have Six of Pentacles, Judgment, beautiful, Four of Wands, nice, Five of Pentacles, okay, Queen of Pentacles, excuse me, Queen of Pentacles. We have 1, 2, 3 Pentacle cards. Yes, Ace of Pentacles. Wow. They will create a business for sure, whether in their early years or later, around metaphysical studies. They could be a guru themselves. They could be somebody who's into tarot and crystals. They'll make money out of spirituality. That's for sure. Three of Swords. Okay. And Nine of Swords. Very interesting. And I just realized, I think you guys have more cards than other people. Oh yes, you had 8 cards. Yes. Okay. Your relationship with this child. First off, I surely want to highlight, you are, this child, because they have this crown chakra activated, they're highly intuitive, they have their spirit guides who just make them do adventurous, crazy things. They come to you for groundedness, for help, for feeling when their head is too much in the clouds and they want to come down to earth. If there's anybody in this world who can make them feel like, scolded or shamed or make them listen to them, it's you. Okay, which is beautiful as a relationship, right? Like they will intimidate the whole world and then get intimidated by you. Okay, because for them you are that grounding, safe space where they come home to when they are struggling, when there is help that they seek. This is the help that they seek. They have a lot of ego, Sagittarius, Pluto, so they wouldn't want to reach out and ask for help from their friends or their larger community, or show that they are hurting to the larger community, but to you, for them, to you, that's the space that they come in when their heart's broken, when they feel betrayed, when they feel like life is not going their way, when they feel like, because nobody's life is just bed of roses, right? It may seem like that to other people, but they come to you for that guidance, for that support, for that help, for that Queen of Pentacles energy that, my mother or my father can take care of this. I mean, I can show to them my raw side, which is why a very strong message comes in here that do not ever judge them the way the world judges that child. Okay, that is what their expectations from you are. Don't judge me the way the rest of the world judges me, because it's not like that's not true about me, but you need to know that there's more to me, that I'm also scared, that I'm also needing some, I do get scared, and you will know as the parent that they're also scared. Okay, this relationship will have a lot to talk about. So it's like hours and hours of chatting, hours and hours of conversations. Okay, you may actually even do a business together. So you may eventually pass down a business to them as a legacy business, or you may do business together. One of those two, okay? Their wedding is a significant turnover, a leaf that turns over in your relationship. You may not be very impressed by their life partner or the choice of life partner they make. Again, a message of caution coming in. You're not this person who they need judgment from. You're the person they need acceptance from, they need security from. And yes, of course, you are the one who can school them, who can guide them, because you're the only one they listen to, but they shouldn't feel judged harshly by you. Okay? Every success that they will ever have, this card talks about success, about manifestations coming in, about that 11-11 energy. They will, it's very cute. It's so, my heart fills up. They will really give all credits to everything that they've ever achieved in their life to you, to this parent figure that they've had. You would be the person they'd go to when their heart breaks, when they don't have money, when things don't go right. So, I'm literally seeing like an Oscar speech happening for someone, and someone saying like, oh, everybody's just seen the strong side of me, the bold side of me, the funny side of me, but it's my mother or my father, whoever's watching this, and how you connect to that, who have been the reason that I've achieved what I've achieved. Okay, and which is why There's a strong spiritual ascension that you both will go through. Judgment talks also about ascension, okay, that you go through as individuals together. And at a very young age, maybe by the time they're 16 or 17, you stop feeling like it's a child. You start feeling like it's another friend of yours or a community extension of yours, and you treat them the same way, okay? In the early years, there will be, like, those early teens, there's going to be some rough, angry arguments, because again, this is a headstrong baby, and it may break your heart sometimes, the kind of things they can say to you, but they don't mean bad. That's how parent and child relationship is. They will call you out like none of your kids can, okay? I mean, I'm saying none of your kids, even though I've said you have one child, because I strongly feel 2 and 3s are connected. So they will call you out of your BS. They will call you out about when you are being wrong. So it can be triggering for a parent to even have that child, right? So yeah, this child may also at times need financial support from you. That's also coming in, but it's just temporary phases, okay? It's not like, oh, they're good for nothing and they couldn't earn their own money, but they will come to you for financial advice. This is also a child who may actually trust you with all their money, because they feel like, I'm too impulsive, I'm going to spend all my money, you keep my money and you invest my money. So financially, they do seek a lot of guidance from you, okay? And they will never have a secret from you. They may be very secretive, very intimidating, very different to the rest of the world, but you know what's going on with your child, okay? And because they will always openly share. And let's look at what your Lenormand is. Kite, okay? Whip, 10, 11, 11, 11. Some of you could be seeing that repeat number. And 33 key, okay? Like I said, there's no Willy Wonka reading. This child will unfortunately have to go through certain paranormal events which may be scary, which may be painful, okay? And it could be like, how Wednesday had to go through that seeing of her pet being killed. I'm not saying it has to be the same event, but such kids don't come into world earth to just live a la-la life, right? Of course their life is going to have struggles. Of course they're going to go through pain, and of course pain being inflicted on them would also feel harder, because if you have been a person and if you understand that people who are intimidating to the rest of the outside world, there's a certain kind of a sadistic thing in our society that those kind of people want to be hurt more by the world, okay? So this child will go through those kind of lows, deep transformation, breaking down and then rising up to the phoenix. Even your relationship together is not all Willy Wonka. So there are going to be certain years, certain months wherein both of you inflict a lot of pain through the words you exchange, through the things you say to each other, through the moments that you expect them to show up and they expect you to show up and they didn't. Because this is a parent and a child relationship which is not just parent and child, but very karmic in the sense of unlocking the key to unlocking your own ascension, the key to unlocking your own life purpose. Okay, so yes, there's a certain amount of pain, suffering that I do see in that child's life, as well as what the child brings in to your life through that connection, right? But that even that pain is a key to unlocking different aspects of yourself. I am sorry for the interruption. There was somebody at the door. It's okay. So again, 3 of Swords, the Whip. There is a deep wound, a deep cut, which as a parent you may have to experience with this kid. Not trying to hide that aspect of it, but just at the same time, that is the key through which you grow. Okay, a very specific message. Please don't take it as a fear mongering. Please don't let that dampen your energy. For very few of you, you may outlive this child, and then this child may come in as a spirit to you as a spirit guide. Okay, very few of you, but I see that message and I got to give the message. Okay, and that may break your heart. Of course, nobody wants to lose their child while they are still living. I don't think that you lose them when they are a baby, but it is possible that they do not have a very long lifespan for very few of you. Okay, I have to put that out on the table, and I'm really sorry if you are somebody who's watching this who already has a child and you're watching this reading, and if you needed a confirmation, that spirit still stays with you. Okay, there's this deep bond that you may have. Another aspect that I do see, this child may actually have to lose someone very close to them, and that cut takes a long time to heal. Okay, That's just the pain aspect that Pluto does bring in. That's just the pain aspect of life that I do clearly see in your reading. So I had to say it, okay? For most of you though, it does feel like I mentioned, and I'm just going to highlight that, few years of your life, you may not have a great relationship with them, but things will get healed. Both of you will see eye to eye again, and you'd come together again. I think that's what the majority of this is all about, okay? This child will also help you cut away from anything that is toxic, negative, not good for you, because there's no space for that. Okay, there's no space for that. Similarly from you to them, if they, let's say it could be the life partner that you're not happy with, you may choose to like not be in their lives because of the decision that they made for a few years, and then they cut off that person and they're back together. That storyline will play out differently, but I did see that. Okay, let's see what angel cards do have as for guidance for you. Intense reading, I know, right? Ask for help. Okay, we talked about this. Anytime you feel like you're clouded, you don't know what you're doing with your life, this is about you. This is guidance to you. Ask your angels to show you the light. Because I feel even though this child is not, even if it is hard to kind of, I lost my trail of thoughts. I hate it when somebody opens my door in between a reading. Sorry guys. It'll come to me. It's back. Even though this child is not born yet, I think they strongly already connect with you. Okay? They strongly connect with you in spirit. So you can speak to them. They will help you. They will show you guidance here and now. Books. Love this. Again, knowledge. Seek knowledge. Learn more about things. Learn more about metaphysics. If you're nervous, focus on service, giving back to the community. Okay? How does it all, instead of asking what's in it for me, what can I contribute to the society? And you'd be surprised if you start looking at life from that lens, how your own future child's energy starts coming in for you. Cut your cords. Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationship, freeing you from destructive patterns. Again, like I said, this kid will have no space for toxic relationships in your life or theirs. Okay, so it's literally the message that if you're still in a loop of toxic relationships, unhealthy patterns, in order for this child to come into your life in 3D, you need to cut those cords. It's as tough love as it sounds, guys. I have loved doing this reading. It was deep, meaningful, great as a reading to, do for you. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. Don't forget to hit that like button if you could connect to this energy, and I will see you in your next one. Take care. Bye-bye.